Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, or Tank12, however you call me, I don't really care. And welcome back to World of Tanks, where we're today taking a look at the return of the Waffenträger game mode, the event that is going to be lasting for 13 days, where the Harrier squad, consisting of the Resistor, the Foudre, and the Thunderbolt, are trying to take on the Blitzträger of E100, which is driven by the engineer Max von Krieger. We have Igor Letov, looks like a Soviet, a Russian kind of guy, Armand, and we have Elisa Day. And yes, we're going to be taking a look at one of the games. I'm going to be playing one in probably the Resistor or the Thunderbolt, because the Foudre is a bit of, it's not really as enjoyable. But we can go through them real fast and take a look at what they're all about. Then we're going to open a couple of gates to show you guys what this event is all about, what you can get out of the event. And also I wanted to show you guys the rewards and the brand new Rex. Let me just see real fast what it's called again. It was something like the ASTRON Rex, which is this vehicle right here. So let me actually pull up the vehicle. We're just going to look for it in the comparison tab, and then I can show you guys what the main reward is with this event. It's obviously going to be a tier A premium tank, and I'm looking for it and I found it right there. So let's take a look at this tank. So this is the ASTRON Rex, the tier 8 American medium tank premium. It has an auto loading system with 5 shells in total. That is really crazy. This thing has a magazine with 5 shells, but like the statistics or the characteristics aren't too good. Dispersion is pretty bad. The penetration isn't too good either, but it does have decent mobility and it has decent survivability as well, but it has a big weak spot. So for everyone who will not get this vehicle, there is quite an easy way to take care of this tank, because it does have a very big weak spot on top, but it has 10 degrees of gun depression. So this is the main reward which you can get. It has 3 crew members, so if you're interested, this is the ASTRON Rex. I will probably not get it. So how do you get the ASTRON Rex? Let's look at that real fast. You have 2 options. There are 3 different types of gates, and I'm going to explain them real fast. You have the Harriers gates, and these keys you will unlock by playing the Harrier tanks. They have different kind of collector items, and they have different kind of rewards like credits and personal experience, demounting kits, and something like that. And even if you're very lucky, you can get an engineer starter kit. Now that's all really nice. You cannot buy them, they're in the game, and you have to play the Harriers to be able to unlock the Harriers gates. Moving on to the Engineers gate. Now this is where the pay to win aspect comes into play. This is basically a glorified loot box, which they just renamed to the Engineers gate. So in this thing right here, you have a guaranteed reward, you have a rare reward, another rare reward, and then there's also the possibility of receiving certain premium tanks with the unlocking of the gate. I think the ASTRON Rex 105mm, I think the chances are 2.4% to receive one of the premium tanks. That's what they put it on the website, because they have to show the numbers. So your chances are pretty bad. You can actually buy these keys, and it's quite difficult to get a hold of them in game, because you have to do quite a few missions to be able to receive them. So yeah, I don't think that anyone is going to be able to get this vehicle play for free by by playing the Harriers and maybe playing the Waffenträger of E100, because it's more difficult now with the Waffenträger if you don't know what you're doing. But we're going to jump into a game afterwards. So this is the gate where you can get the tank immediately. You need about 60 engineer starter packs to be able to get the tank immediately out of this gate, so that you cannot, or you don't have to gamble extremely much. I think the package costs you about $60 to be able to unlock the entire thing. So yeah, if you're willing to pay that amount of money, you can go for it. either way, I'm just going to be playing this mode because there are also some rewards that are quite nice for the players that don't need the premium vehicles. So you can get about 3,000 bonds, which is really cool, and you can get some decals and also some styles, which is also pretty nice if you ask me. So yeah, that's all about the rewards. Let's take a look at the Resistor, the Foudre, and the Thunderbolt. So with the Resistor right here, which is Object 140, these skins all look pretty nifty, they look really nice. And I'm just going to be playing one of them, and we're not going to be playing every single one, because I think you can, you know, create your own opinion on these vehicles and play them yourself. So the Resistor is basically the balanced tank. It has both the protection and the armor and the firepower of the Thunderbolt and the Foudre, and it's still fast enough. It's not as slow as the Thunderbolt, so this is a good all-rounder. You have the Foudre, which specializes in the in the firepower department, or in the firepower department exactly. You have 5 rounds in your magazine, but I have to say it doesn't feel as good because this Batchat comes completely stock and it doesn't have all of the equipment and the crew skills that you need to get the accuracy and the aim time that you really need to upgrade on the Batchat. So it's really, really annoying to get this tank to aim in fully, and sometimes you miss shots and your armor doesn't work. So the Foudre is a tank I would much rather not play. The Thunderbolt has a very cool, nice, special combat ability, which allows it to use some kind of a siege mode where it fires a lot faster and does more damage. So the Thunderbolt does the brunt of the damage, and it has better protection. And I think the mobility is still decent enough to keep up with certain other tanks like the Resistor. So I would much rather play the Thunderbolt and the Resistor. They all have one special ability. The Resistor has the railgun ability, which does more damage, but you'll lose the accuracy. The Foudre has a very unnecessary shield ability, which gives you like a shield for 4 seconds, and it doesn't really help you at all. Those 4 seconds won't protect you forever. And then the Thunderbolt has the siege mechanic, as we already mentioned. I haven't played the Waffenträger. I will probably make a video once I'm able to play it. And what I'm going to be doing real fast is I'm going to show you guys what it's like to open a gate. So I have 2 keys. I'm opening the gate right now. There is not even an animation, and I've unlocked the camouflage, which is quite nice. So I'm going to activate the next one as well. And this is how Wargaming does it. This is how they promote the gambling in this, because there's a random number generator, and yeah, players are like, oh my god, I want to get that specific thing out of maybe the premium loot boxes, and then they start investing a lot of money into the game, and that's how they do it. I don't have access to I'm not going to be buying any keys, so the only keys that I can show you guys are when I really get a key by playing the game. That means I will not be able to show you what the real outcome is, like if those keys are going to be giving you your money's worth back. At least with the Christmas loot boxes, you always kind of knew that the return was always greater than or I'd say the return was always great enough to justify investing that money, and I'm not really sure if that is going to be the case. I have the feeling that over the last 1 or 2 years, they actually reduced the amount of gold and premium time and everything that you got out of those boxes, because I remember the very first time they did that, because they were really scared of repercussions that those loot boxes, when they were first released, I think I bought for $200 or $300, and I ended up with 180,000 gold, like in the first time, and it was crazy. So yeah, this time around, with Christmas only being like 3 months away, let's say the holiday period, the gaming period has started, because it's fall, and every developer is already rubbing their hands because they're going to be able to push out some really aggressive monetization things. So yeah, we got that coming towards us in a couple of months, and yeah, that's not very nice. So we're playing on the map I'm not even sure, I forgot the name of the map, but either way, you know the map. You've played World of Tanks, so you know where we are. It's a smaller map. The other ones are actually a bit larger, I think. The soundtrack is quite nice, though. So I'm just gonna explain to you guys how it works, because it's a bit different from the years before. The very first game I lost because I didn't know what I was doing and because they changed some things around. But the thing is, if you know what to do, you're going to be able to win basically almost every single time, because I have the feeling that with 7 players, the Waffenträger has to be incredibly good, and the luck has to be on his side that he can catch all of us. Because I've noticed that like the majority of the players that play the Waffenträger weren't as good. That's probably because they just bought some keys and they don't have really the experience, or because no one has really played this game mode before, except if you've played it last year. And it's still about the same, like you have these bots that you have to take out, and if you kill the bot, you get the plasma. You have two places where you can actually deposit the plasma, and those are these generators. We have to destroy the generators by picking up the plasma and by putting the plasma into the generator itself. The interesting thing is, basically, these generators, they give power to the Waffenträger. So the Waffenträger has to show and look that that we cannot get to the main goal and deposit that plasma. So the thing is, the Waffenträger has a really big advantage at the start, and I have the feeling this Waffenträger knows what he's doing because he's already taken out 2 tanks. And you can see these guys are scrambling for those for the plasma, although you can still pick up plasma from other vehicles. So I would much rather just ignore the plasma and try to run away from this Waffenträger, because he's not as fast as you are. So basically you have 2 generators, and you can only deliver plasma to one of them. So like, no, you can deliver plasma to both of them, but the important thing is that you cannot deliver the plasma, 2 vehicles cannot deliver the plasma to the same place. The thing is, your biggest enemy is the Waffenträger and time that is against you. So you have to time it. If you time it correctly, what you can do is you can get one guy to 1 and the other one to 2, or you know, vice versa. And they can deliver that, and that will actually do quite a bit of damage to the generators, because you have to destroy 4 generators to destroy the shields of the Waffenträger. The thing is, it's a new kind of game mode, and these players are, you know, just experiencing it right now. And you can see we've already lost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks at this instant, you know, in this moment, because they're way too aggressive. They're trying to push that Waffenträger, even though it has shields. You can still do damage to him, but it's highly advised to drive away, because he has the advantage over you. So right now I'm popping my my advantage, allowing me to have that additional firepower, and as you can see, I'm getting absolutely fucked by this vehicle, because the Waffenträger is aiming at me. Yeah. That is the danger when you're playing this vehicle, because what ends up happening is you're in a siege mode and the Waffenträger comes around and he's just going to absolutely annihilate you if you're not careful. But the siege mode gives you the advantage of a lot faster damage per minute and a much better rate of fire. The thing is, right now I'm basically just farming damage, because what is going to end up happening here is we are going to be able to deliver the plasma to both of, or to at least one of the generators, and you can see that the Waffenträger on the enemy team is really smart, because he's basically looking between those places and he's trying to stop us from delivering the payload. Because if we can do it like this, he's going to be able to replenish himself when he gets the payload, and if he hits you, he actually resets the drop-off. So because of the closeness of the 2 points, this Waffenträger can just run from point A to point B, and you can see how the Waffenträger is just knocking our tanks out. This is the very first game where the Waffenträger is really good, and this is the very first time I'm trying to record this, and we look like absolute fools because this Waffenträger is just wrecking us. So yeah, that's what you have to keep in mind. Your lives are really, they're really valuable, and you can see this Waffenträger is now just, you know, pushing himself from point 1 to point 2, and he's really smart. As you can see, our guy was just stunned once more, and we have the same issue that we have a Waffenträger that is absolutely handing our ass back to us. We can't even do anything. The thing is, we only have 40 seconds remaining, and we have to deliver the payload. And this guy is not going to be able to do it in time. So it's a bit of a unfortunate situation because the Waffenträger can just camp these positions, and we can't really do anything against that right now. So there are quite a few problems with this game mode. That is pretty damn certain. But this is the very first time that I've seen the Waffenträger be this dominant. You know, in the very first 3 minutes. We actually get overtime because I think we're trying to deliver that.
This will help destroy the generators.
Oh, but still. Yeah. Yeah, he's just gonna die. He's just gonna die trying to get there. And it's not even worth it. God damn. Either way, I think we're gonna do one more round after this because we're certainly going to be ending up dead in a second. And this is a very good example of a very good Waffenträger who knows where to go, who knows how to deal damage, because he chased us at the beginning, knocked out like 4 or 5 tanks, and then he started patrolling between those posts, and we weren't able to deliver anything. That, on the other hand, is definitely also kind of a very bad game design point, in my opinion, because we were not really able to deliver anything because he could just switch between those 2 points. So they need to look that the 2 portals or generators are kind of far away from one another, that he cannot just be at the same places at the same time, because it won't allow us to put anything ever in those spots. And if he can just sit there and defend both of them, well, that's basically a game that you've just lost very easily and very quickly. But either way, our team wasn't doing very well either. The thing is, at the early stages, you cannot really, you know, distract the Waffenträger. You can fight him. You can just shoot him every single time. You'll do about 50 to 100 damage max because he has his shields up. And in the end, you cannot really even distract them too much, so it's a bit of an awkward situation. So yeah, that was a decisive defeat. Very, very clear right there. He owned our asses. But either way, we're just gonna jump into the next match, and hopefully we'll have a better time this game around. Okay, so we've made it onto the other map. I forgot the name once more. But I think this time around it's going to be a bit more difficult for the Waffenträger to be able to defend both points at the same time, because there are no clear lines of sight and there are forests and hills in between. So I hope he cannot just stay at one spot and we have like a generator on the left side here and a generator on the right side, because that would definitely not work out in our favor.
Lunatic. I'm a god of machines, and this is my army.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start with the boosters because obviously you don't have any downtime, so you want to get in that as fast as you can. you basically have the clock against you and you have the Waffenträger against you. But since you are 7 players, you can really, you know, you basically just have to work together, and you should have a pretty easy time taking on the Waffenträger. Sometimes though, the game itself is a bit weird. So I'm picking up the plasma right now. As you can see, you have a timer on the plasma that forces you to push to the generator as soon as you can. The generator has kind of a cooldown, so you have to look to it that. God, I only have 40 seconds to give this, you know, to drop this off. And there's a Waffenträger right on the left of me, and he's going to breach.
We've lost the track. We're stuck here.
There's not a lot I can do right now in this situation, because he's just going to be camping me, and I will not be able to drop this this energy off unless he pushes me. But I don't think that's his target. He's re-engaging something else, and I'm just gonna drop this because I think he's able to see it on the map. So the thing is, right there, I had to drop the plasma, which gave him the opportunity to, you know, deal some damage on me, and also it allowed him to deny me the drop off. So he's kind of trying to camp that drop off right now. But as you can see, because we have a guy already over there trying to get to point 2, we have the opportunity to, you know, push him to force him into our position. So right now I'm trying to get to this point. I want to destroy these vehicles, these sentinels, because if that guy will not make it, if he won't make it right there, we're gonna have an issue that we have to drop on the other plot. But we have actually managed to drop it off, and now you can damage the Waffenträger. So the damage that you output now on the Waffenträger actually is, yeah, it's much better than prior. How do you increase your HP? Your HP will be increased if you pick up the plasma. If anyone in your team picks up plasma, so you'll actually have better or more HP, and you'll be able to replenish that HP. You only have 1,000 on this tank. On the Foudre you have about 900, and on the American M48 you have 1,400, I think. And the Waffenträger does about 600-700 damage. The thing is, you can see we have one guy already who has picked up the plasma. The problem is, because it's the damage phase to take on the Waffenträger, the issue is you cannot drop the plasma off. So basically, you have to wait until the generators come back online, and then you can actually engage those generators. So he's just gonna lose that. It's not worth picking it up. The only reason you would actually pick it up is to gain some HP. But still, you can see right now we're trying to get more of the plasma to be able to deliver it to the port in the south or in the north, depending on where the Waffenträger is going to be going. And we actually need to get some HP in as well. You can see we've already lost about 6 different vehicles, because the players have sometimes gotten caught out, or they were just unfortunately didn't pick it up, or they were just aggressive trying to push the Waffenträger when he was without his shield. But it's not really worth it. The best strategy you can actually do is you have to have someone spotting the Waffenträger to know where he is, but you always have to keep your distance. Run away from the Waffenträger. Don't be the one who goes in front of the Waffenträger. Run away from the Waffenträger. See that you can get those pickups at a farther place somewhere away, and don't give him the opportunity to pick up those things, because if he picks up the plasma and destroys you in the process, he's going to be able to heal himself, and that is really the last thing you want to happen. So that is an issue. I just spotted the Waffenträger, and now he is in the midst of it. As you can see, he is basically just pushing our guys, and he just got the plasma back, and he's gonna get some additional HP as well. The important thing is, this is a game mode that relies on teamwork, and that means you also have to be really wary on what you do with your HP, how you're going to share it, you know, the different roles, to play smart, you know, to go to a different place. Sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself to allow your team to get the upper hand. The Waffenträger right now can actually just teleport himself. Oh my god, he's teleporting right now, and that is a big issue because he's going to be able to, you know, just drop in somewhere close to me, and if he damages me, I have a huge problem. If there are two more, or if there are more people in this circle, the Waffenträger actually, like the drop-off rate increases. So right now, the Waffenträger is actually vulnerable. You can engage him, but it's still not really the best idea, I think, especially if you're this close to him. So I'm just going to try to run away. The issue right there is that guy has the plasma, and if he is able to pick up the plasma, he's going to be able to heal himself. So what this resistor has to do is he's to drive away. And he actually has dropped the plasma, which is maybe the smart thing to do. And we've done some quite substantial amount of damage to him right now. But I would much rather just drive away from him now. You know, these guys can keep him busy. One of them just died, and he was actually the one with the last vehicle in it. And we're gonna lose Ace as well, and it's going to be his last tank as well. So it's very important to keep your distance, because now we're only 5 versus 1, which I know sounds ridiculous, but since the Waffenträger is this powerful, you need all the firepower you can get. So now we have to wait 20 seconds until the teleporter comes back online, and now I'm just trying to farm this to be able to get one more plasma, to be able to go over there and get to port 1, because we need to extend the time. So we have one guy right now who is in the cap, but the issue is he's all by himself. Because he's all by himself, if the Waffenträger manages to hit him, it's going to reset everything. So I need to hurry up. Maybe he's going to be able to do it just in time. Very nice. He gave us an additional minute 30, and he also allowed us to damage the Waffenträger. So the issue now is, since we are only 4 tanks, well, we're only 3 tanks with one more having one last remaining life. The issue is right now I've picked up this the plasma. The Waffenträger is low. This could be a really interesting kind of end game in the end for us, because we cannot really see him. He's also trying to stay away from us because he knows that he's low HP. And what we have to do is we have to get this guy, and now we have to go through to the next generator. You can see we only have 30 seconds remaining, and we only have about... Where is this guy going? Where is this guy going? No, 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 no. Don't go into that direction. No, no, where is he going? Oh, he has the plasma and he's running into the wrong direction. Because we need to deliver that, and that thing over there is a lot easier. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to just get some more plasma, because he's going to drop it in 20 seconds. Okay, you know what? We have overtime, which is 20 seconds right now.
Look, the generators have activated.
I think we're not going to be able to do this, because this guy just drove into the wrong direction, and he lost it because he was driving into the wrong direction. But you know, those things will happen, and we're gonna lose this match based on not being able to deal enough damage. And I have to be honest, the Waffenträger did a quite good job. I thought, like, when we had him cornered and we did like the third charge, we actually managed to do quite well. But the issue is the team just became greedy. Everyone became absolutely aggressive. And as you can see right now, like, we have 3 players that died. They all wasted their lives. And that was unfortunate. But either way, I think the game mode itself is quite interesting. I'm going to be making another video as soon as I will get the Waffenträger. I get a key for it. But so far, I've enjoyed this game mode quite a bit because it's a lot more tactical. You have to get used to it, and the players need to first, you know, get used to it. But I think after 1 or 2 days, I think the majority will get into it itself, and it's going to be quite a lot of fun. So tell me what you think about the mode. I think the mode is great. Only thing I don't like to see is the gambling that we have right here. But either way, that was kind of guaranteed because it's wargaming. But tell me what you think about it. I'll read the comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Until then, have a good one. Peace out.